Part 2 of Ancient Greek Philosopher-Scientists. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by 7. Ancient Greek Philosopher-Scientists. A collection of their surviving words reported in ancient sources and translated by various translators. Testimonials on Anaximander of Miletos, translated by John Burnet in Early Greek Philosophy, 3rd edition. Theophrastus, Physics, Fragment 2. Anaximander of Miletos, son of Praxeades, a fellow citizen and associate of Thales, said that the material cause and first element of things was the infinite, he being the first to introduce this name for the material cause. He says it is neither water nor any other of the so-called elements, but a substance different from them, which is infinite, from which arise all the heavens and the worlds within them, and into that from which things they take their rise they pass away once more, as is ordained, for they make reparation and satisfaction to one another for their injustice according to the appointed time, as he says in these somewhat poetical terms. Pseudo-Plutarch, Stromatius, Fragment 2. He says that the earth is cylindrical in form, and that its depth is a third of its breadth. He says that something capable of begetting hot and cold was separated off from the eternal at the origin of this world. From this arose a sphere of flame which grew round the air encircling the earth, as the bark grows round a tree. When this was torn off and enclosed in certain things, the sun, moon, and stars came into existence. Hippolytus, Refutation of All Heresies, 1.6. He says that this is eternal and ageless, and that it encompasses all the worlds, and besides this there was an eternal motion in the course of which was brought about the origin of the worlds. The earth swings free, held in its place by nothing. It stays where it is because of its equal distance from everything. Its shape is convex and round and like a stone pillar. We are on one of their surfaces, and the other is on the opposite side. The heavenly bodies are wheels of fire separated off from the fire which encircles the world and enclosed in air, and they have breathing holes, certain pipe-like passages at which the heavenly bodies are seen. For this reason, too, when the breathing holes are stopped, eclipses occur, and the moon appears now to wax and now to wane because of the stopping and opening of the passages. The circle of the sun is 27 times the size of the earth, while that of the moon is 18 times as large. The sun is highest of all, and the lowest are the wheels of the fixed stars. Living creatures arose from the moist elements as it was evaporated by the sun. Man was like another animal, namely, a fish, in the beginning. Hippolytus, Refutation of All Heresies, 1.6,7. Rain was produced by the moisture drawn up from the earth by the sun. Aristotle, Physics, 3.5, 204b, 22. Further, there cannot be a single body which is infinite, either, as some hold, one distinct from the elements, which they then derive from it, nor without disqualification. For there are some who make this, i.e., a body distinct from other elements, the infinite, and not air or water, in order that the other things may not be destroyed by their infinity. They are in opposition one to another. Air is cold, water moist, and fire hot, and therefore, if any one of them were infinite, the rest would have ceased to be by this time. Accordingly, they say that infinite is something other than the elements, and from its elements arise. Aetius, Placita Philosophorum, 2.13,7, semicolon 15,6. Anaximander said that the stars were hoop-like compressions of air full of fire, breathing out flames at certain point from orifices. The sun was highest of all. After that came the moon, and below these the fixed stars and the planets. 20.2.1. Anaximander said that the sun was a ring 28 times the size of the earth, like a cartwheel with a fellow hollow, and full of fire, showing the fire at a certain point as if through the nozzle of a pair of bellows. 2.211. Anaximander said that the sun was equal to the earth, but the ring from which it breathes out and by which it is carried round was 27 times as large as the earth. 20.25,1. Anaximander said that the moon was a ring 18 times the size of the earth. 3.3,1. Anaximander held that the thunder and lightning were caused by the blast, when it was shut up in a thick cloud and burst forth with violence. Then the breakage of the clouds makes the noise, and the rift gives the appearance of a flash by contrast with the darkness of the cloud. 3.6,1 Anaximander held that the wind was a current of air, i.e. vapor, which arose when its finest and moistest particles were set in motion or dissolved by the sun. 3.16,1 The sea is what is left of the original moisture. The fire has dried up most of it and turned the rest salt by scorching it. 5.19,1 The first animals were produced in the moisture, each enclosed in a prickly bark. As they advanced in age, they came out upon the drier part. When the bark broke off, they survived for a short time. Plutarch, Symposiacs, 730f. He declares that first, human beings arose in the inside of fishes, and after having been reared like sharks and become capable of protecting themselves, they were finally cast ashore and took to land. Cicero, on the nature of gods, 1.10. It was the opinion of Anaximander that gods have a beginning, at long intervals rising and setting, and that they are the innumerable worlds. But who of us can think of God except as immortal? End of Part 2. Recording by 7.